Boo. Did I scare you? Hey, Huskies and Friends. Happy spooky season. I hope we had a great week off. I know I did. And we are ready for the home stretch. Speaking of home, did you ever think of, I don't know, leaving it? I mean, not entirely, but studying abroad. Did you know that GBC offers study abroad opportunities? Oh, yes, they do. It's giving international. Well, today we're going to have a little chat with Mike Lafleur, who is the manager of global learning at GBC, and is going to tell us about all these opportunities here at George Brown and how you can take advantage of them. Let's get into it. Welcome to the podcast, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So can you tell us about yourself and what you do at George Brown?
Sure. So I joined the college in the summer as the new manager of global learning. So in my role, I'm there to support our student mobility, mainly focusing on study tours, exchange, and global wills. In sort of my personal and professional life, I've traveled to about 70 countries. I've been to South Africa, Namibia, Ethiopia, places like Peru, Venezuela, Chile, Polynesian Islands, India, China, and Japan, and in various contexts. And in my role, I sort of use that experience to try to inspire and encourage our George Brown students to go abroad and to experience different cultures as part of their education here at George Brown.
Do you have a favorite place that you've been to? Between us, so the countries don't get jealous, but you've been to so many different places. Do you have like a favorite spot where you're just like, yeah, I'll go back there again?
I often get asked this question, and for me, every country has its charm, its beauty, its challenges, and I think no matter where you go, you can always have an opportunity to learn. So, of course, if I had to pick one, there's a little island called Tonga. And for me, the Tongan people were just so laid back, very family oriented, and a very simplistic but fulfilling lifestyle that I found really inspiring.
Would you be able to tell me where Tonga is? Is that like off the west coast or south coast of Africa? Like where?
Yeah, so I was lucky I was able to explore a few of the Polynesian islands, so Tonga, Vanuatu, Fiji, Solomon Islands. So it's really situated around the Polynesian Islands.
Oh, nice. Wow. Well, as an island girl myself, I want to say big up the people of Tonga. That sounds like so much fun though, Mike. And I hope, our students probably won't be going to Tonga right now with this opportunity, but who knows? It could be a great step for them to explore and see so many other places in the world and just get to experience different cultures. We are a college that prides ourselves on just how diverse our student body and our staff is. So that's really fascinating. So thanks for sharing that with us, Mike.
Absolutely.
So I have a couple questions for you today. Our first one being, why is it important for students to consider study and work abroad opportunities at GBC?
Well, I can tell you firsthand that traveling provides a unique opportunity to learn more about yourself and the world at large. You learn about global issues and you begin to recognize just how interconnected we are as a society. Traveling allows you to really broaden your perspectives, enhance your cultural awareness, and meet friends from around the world. And from an employability standpoint, you have an opportunity to build those intercultural competencies and those transferable skills required to compete in a globalized world. So I think for those main reasons, students should really consider the study and work abroad opportunities as part of their education.
My next question is, what should students consider when thinking about participating in a global learning opportunity?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is that students should really think about the financial considerations. There are certainly some expenses involved. For example, having to book a flight, renewing a passport, purchasing travel insurance, in-country travel, and the cost of living given the currency exchange. But I also encourage students to think of this as an investment in themselves. And secondly, I think students should consider the duration and the type of travel involved. So if a student is going on exchange, it may be really hard to move away for a semester. It might be difficult to balance their home life responsibilities. Or if it's their first time traveling, they may experience some aspects of homesickness that they might not expect. And for students maybe considering group travel, like a study tour, group travel has its own pros and cons. So if you're a super social, interpersonal person, group travel might be a great way for you to build some strong relationships and to socialize. But if you're more of an introvert and you prefer your own space and like to do your own thing, maybe group travel isn't the best option for you. So I think there are a few different elements for students to consider. But ideally, I would encourage students to think through where they see themselves. Do they want to be in an urban context, a rural context? Do they want to be in a completely different cultural context? So I think it's important for students to really just sit down and keep an open mind and reflect on all these different elements of travel.
Hmm. How long typically does this program last?
Sure. So,
Is it just one semester or can persons extend it to maybe two?
right. If it's a semester exchange, it would be for a semester. If it's a studies tour, those programs are typically 2 to 3 weeks long. Or if it's a work integrated learning placement, you can expect it to be about, 12 weeks or so. So the length really is dependent on the program.
All right. So, what's the difference between a study tour and a global will and a semester exchange?
I think when most students think about study abroad, what comes to mind is the traditional semester exchange. So a semester exchange is a great opportunity as it allows you to pay your tuition directly to George Brown College while going on exchange at a partner university. So, for example, we have partners in Scotland, in England, in South Korea, etc. And for those students, they're probably going to live on campus, so they'll have an opportunity to meet other international and exchange students. And the credits that they're taking on exchange are going to be transferred back to the George Brown program as well. For students who are going away for 4 months for a semester, that seems a bit daunting. They might want to consider participating in a study tour. So if you're new to travel, this might be an easy way to get some international experience while traveling with a George Brown College faculty member along with a group of students. So in this case, most of the logistics are already in place, which makes sort of the planning and the organization a little bit easier. I know from my own experience participating in a study tour as an undergraduate student, I had an opportunity to explore Sweden and really take part in a course where the culture and the curriculum really comes together. So when you're traveling with a group of students, it's really easy to build those bonds and connect because you're traveling with them, 24/7. You're studying together, living together, traveling together. So you really build those friendships.
Yeah, that's great.
Some students may also want to consider doing a global will abroad in order to gain some international work experience. And in this case, I would recommend to students that they start doing their research well in advance, as it will take, it'll take some time to coordinate the necessary approvals from the college to really pursue your placement. I know when I was younger, I did an internship in Namibia, and it really opened my eyes to issues of colonization, navigating cultural differences and building my own confidence as a young professional. So I think, each of these three opportunities have their own pros and cons, and it's really up to the student to figure out what might be best for them by thinking about the duration, the cost, the locations, etc.
Nice. Thank you for that. So, with all of that, Can you give us some of the examples of global learning opportunities that are currently underway at the college?
Sure. So I'm fairly new to the college myself as I joined about 3 months back. But during this time, our team has helped coordinate global learning opportunities for exchange students going to the UK and South Korea. We've had students participate in a youth conference in Jamaica. Later this month, we have a student headed to Melbourne, Australia to complete their global will at a prosthetics clinic. And in fact, we have a group of students heading out to the airport this month uh, to undergo a study tour in Italy. We also have faculty members going abroad and teaching at partner universities as well in China and India. So there's definitely lots going on. And I would encourage anyone listening to check out our website on the homepage where they can learn more about the study and work abroad opportunities and how to get involved as well.
I was just about to ask if the group that's leaving this month, if they got space for one more, because clear, I might be gone. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, so to my follow-up question, what are some of the more popular destinations for students?
I think across the international education sector in Canada, I would say that most colleges and universities are sending students to France, Italy, UK, and Australia. And while those countries are certainly popular, a student may have an equally amazing time heading to a place where the cultural background may be entirely different to what they are used to. Certainly, I think there's a case to be made for students to really push beyond their comfort zones when they're exploring a specific country or city that is different from a Western lens.
Yeah, because that gives them a completely different experience. And that may be daunting at first, but I think if they really immerse themselves in the experience, that can be so great, so eye opening, just amazing. And I love that for students who actually take the opportunity to go and just see the world from a completely different lens. All right. So, in terms of risk management, what supports and services are provided to the students?
For the global learning team, risk management is our main priority. So we work with the third party security and medical service provider known as International SOS. We also work with the college's insurance provider, and we provide pre departure training for each student participating in a global learning opportunity. So, in terms of pre departure training, we cover topics such as travel advisories, the role of embassies and consulates, dealing with large scale emergencies, gender crimes abroad, as well as issues of accessibility and identity abroad. So, of course, while these global learning opportunities provide a tremendous opportunity for learning, there's always an element of risk that we have to mitigate for. So I think we do that through a multi-pronged approach.
And we love that because GBC likes that our students stay safe. And as a student myself, I can appreciate that there's always that extra effort to ensure that we're protected and taken care of. So we love that. Are there travel grants available to students to help them overcome financial barriers?
So we do currently have some federal funding known as the Global Skills Opportunity Grant that really looks to prioritize funding for student groups who have historically been marginalized when it comes to study abroad. So these travel grants are intended specifically to support students who primarily identify as being Indigenous, as having accessibility needs, or having financial needs. Our global mobility coordinators can also offer advice in terms of financing your study abroad programs and budgeting for such experiences. So I would say overall that the college is able to support students financially and that students really need to think of this as an investment in their future as well. So while there are some upfront costs, there's also support available that I would encourage students to explore further.
Yep. And I mean, opportunities like this really come up once in a lifetime, guys. So if this sounds like something that you want to do that appeals to you, you go see Mike. Tell him that you heard about it right here. All right. So What advice do you have for students who may be traveling for the first time?
For first time travelers, I think it's important for them to recognize that they may experience a few different stages of cultural adaptation, which is entirely normal. So when you go abroad, there will certainly be a mix of highs and lows, and students will certainly need to keep an open mind. They should also think about their own biases and assumptions and how they might be perceived while abroad. So while it sounds like a grand adventure, which 99% of the time it's incredible, but there are going to be moments of challenges and frustrations and maybe homesickness, but that's all part of the journey and all part of the learning curve as well.
Yeah. All a part of the roller coaster. There's a course that I'm doing now called counseling, and one of our key skills or elements that we've learned is to not to assume sameness. And I think in an experience like this, you might go in with a lot of that at times, but it's really important to not assume sameness because this is a new experience, a new culture, a new country, new people, a different way of life. So just going with an open mind and open to everything that you're going to learn, because there are things that you might learn that you didn't even expect that you'd be learning. So definitely going in with an open mind is so, so important. And my last question for you is, how can students find out more about the global learning opportunities at GBC?
Well, first off, I would encourage students to check out our website. We also offer a number of global learning info sessions throughout the year where students can have a chance to meet and connect with past alumni from these programs who we call our global learning ambassadors. You also get to meet the staff as well, working behind the scenes to help coordinate and support these programs. You can always reach out to us by email or connect through social media. Our Instagram handle, GB College International, is our Instagram handle. Otherwise, feel free to reach out over email as well. So lots of different ways, whether it's in person or whether it's virtually. But I think my best advice would be for students to think about these opportunities early on and reach out for the supports and services so they understand how we can help them turn these dreams into realities.
Nice. Thank you so, so much, Mike. Cool. Last question. What? Yeah, this should be my last question. Where do we find you on campus?
So we are at 300 Richmond on the second floor. We also have presence at the orientation events throughout the year. But I would really encourage students to drop by and attend a global learning info session, whether that's virtually or in person.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. I may need to drop by. But thank you so much for sharing with us today about all the opportunities that exist, because I think a lot of times students don't even realize that there's so much more to their learning experience than just being in the classroom or meeting virtually, and that all of these learning experiences are facilitated here at GBC. So thank you so much for all the work that you do. And I really do hope that you will see more students coming in who are willing and ready to take advantage of our study abroad opportunities.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to supporting those students.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Take care.
Thank you.
OMG Huskies, there is so much to see and do at GBC here in Canada and on the international stage. And I just love that we're learning about all of these opportunities together. And don't worry, if there's anything that you don't remember for the episode, the link to the Study Abroad webpage can be found in the show notes. You guys ever watched Emily in Paris? I think Khdrea in Paris has a nice ring to it. What do you think? So let's get our passports and get ready to learn from around the world. Until next week, from me and my producer Claire, walk good.